Hello. I hope everybody is having a safe Monday. We are live here with HOT. Hear our tears, hear our stories. Today, it's been a full Monday for us all entrepreneurs and trying to make a difference and making a difference in our community. And we welcome you to HOT. Hear our tears, no abuse, bullying, or violence. Today, we have Miss Vida. Miss Vida has been in the community as a trailblazer for some time now. And we are so grateful to have Miss Vida in our community. She's making noise, she's making changes, and we love it. We love her passion and her mission and her vision. Here Our Tears was started in 2012. Unfortunately, my sister's life was taken by a violent known murderer. And this is why we talk about how to hear our tears and hear our stories, because it is so important. We believe we can make changes in our community, and how can we do that? So we're telling our stories. It is a serious subject. Everybody has a story, and everybody's story can't be the same. But at the same time, we can start healing and helping each other by telling and sharing our stories. Hot has also been blessed with a home. The home needs a lot of work. And I know some people say, well, she's been saying that for a while. But guess what? Things are moving in the right direction. Wonderful folks are helping. And we want to help some folks in our community to make some changes. Domestic violence is real. It's not a plaything. I take it seriously. I'm a victim of domestic violence myself. Traumatized. My counselor called me Miss Resilience. So that's why I'm bringing that to you today. I have layers of trauma, but I'm telling you, you can heal and you can make changes. So today, what are we talking about, Miss Vida?
We are talking about codependence no more.
Right.
Not N-O, but K-N-O-W.
No.
Because you know, the more you know, the further you go.
Yeah. I like that. Say that again.
The more you know, the further you go.
Y'all better pay attention. I love that. So, Miss Vida, she does the Women's Entrepreneurs Matter. So, she said, I am ready, right?
I am ready.
So you better be ready too, because we are ready. Entrepreneurs in the community, I love the passion and energy she gives. It's just amazing. And we can do this thing, even though we've had some traumas and some misunderstandings and misleads and all that, but we are here to tell you can make a difference in your passion, your vision, in your entrepreneurship, in your business. So Vida, you're going to share with us codependency and no more.
Well, thank you so much, Traci, for having me today. I really want to kind of start off with my story of domestic violence because I think it's so important for people to understand what domestic violence is, domestic violence syndrome, because it's a syndrome. It's something that's really learned. I used to always say that my domestic violence was from age 16 to 43. Mm-hmm. But I started thinking about it and I said, well, actually, I think it started when I was a small child. Actually, I think it started when I was in my mother's womb because my father was very, very abusive toward my mother. He said nasty things to her. Yeah, he called her very bad names. Mm-hmm. And then when I got born, he was really a horrible person. He was alcoholic and he wasn't very nice. So that kind of affected me. Yeah. Because I'm not sure if anybody have experienced how your mother can say, well, you just like your father. Oh. And so, I didn't really understand how this was affecting me coming up. Mm-hmm. Because I kept hearing these things over and over. Yeah. So by the time I got into like first, second, and third grade, I don't think I had any self-esteem at all. Mm. And I had a lot of sisters and brothers. I had like 5 sisters and brothers up under me, so I was taking care of them. So by the time I got to be a teenager, I had my own baby at 15. Right. Okay. And then I had another one and another one. So by the time I was 19 years old, I had 3 children. Okay. So I didn't really it was really natural because I was used to taking care of children. Mm-hmm. But it was a lot going on. It was a lot of trauma, a lot of fighting, arguing, disagreeing. It was so many things going on. But one thing I do have to say about my mother, she was very resilient, as you talked about. You know, what is resilience? The ability to bounce back.
Yes.
So even though she had a lot of domestic violence, it carried on to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I always used to tell myself when I was a little girl, I'm not going to let that happen to me. I'm not going to be weak like her.
Yeah.
But it actually did happen to me. And it actually went down to my children.
Yeah.
You know, because a child learns what they live.
Yeah.
Whether we want to believe it or not, they do learn what they live. And things that happen to them, it seems to me like the domestic violence became the norm. It was like normal.
Kind of desensitized to it.
Yeah, it's like okay, well, they fighting today, arguing today, we got trauma today, okay, that's normal.
Yeah.
When I wake up tomorrow, it's going to be the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in the meantime, I came from a line of entrepreneurs. My mother was an entrepreneur. My father, even though he had issues he's an entrepreneur. And most of my family are entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So in the meanwhile, my personal life has always been kind of in shambles because of domestic violence. My business life and my talents and everything, I've always been able to keep them going.
You think your talents kept you going?
Yes.
Kind of vice versa, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I made it.
Right.
When I was a little girl, I used to want to be rich and famous.
Right. I remember you telling me. Tell us that story. Tell us.
Yeah. I learned how to sew when I was 9.
Yeah.
Wanted to be like my mom because she sewed. She did fashion shows and stuff like that. So I learned how to sew. Yeah. Started doing fashion shows, but still I had that domestic violence going on because I didn't learn. That's why I say codependent no more. The more you know, the further you go because I didn't know. So I even started in my 20s. I started doing fashion shows and stuff, but I still had domestic violence on the side. Yeah, that's like we can do our craft and everything, but domestic violence is like a hat that's sitting on the shelf. Yeah. So you look up at it. Sometimes you wear it. You experience it, but then you put it back on the shelf and do your thing. Woo. You know. So
I like the way you explain that how it was. That's true because it can like settle down and be quiet for a minute, but it's always an eggshell type of thing. When is it going to happen again? Yeah. And you know what that does to our heart? You know, it does. Our mind, you know, our organs and all that and everything.
It gives us trauma. Yeah. My first time I was talking about 16 or 43, my baby's father, he called himself, wanted me to come straight home from school and do this, do that. He called me his ball of clay. He was going to shape me into the woman I needed to be. I'm like, wait a minute, you're not going to do that. I'm going to do that myself because I'm an entrepreneur. Yeah. You know, but he jumped on me, and then my self-esteem, it really affected me because he was very nice to me at first. He bought me things, like I grew up, you know, kind of poor, so my mother really couldn't buy some things for me. So he started buying me stuff, taking me out, buying me food, buying me shoes. But then the next thing you know, he want to control everything that I do. Oh, yeah. He want to come spend the night at our house. I told him, my mother said, you can't spend the night over here. He want to do it anyway. Yeah. And so it's just like, it was a systematic kind of thing. Yeah. Along with her trauma, then I started having my own trauma. Right. So by the time I was 19 years old, I had 3 children, got my own place, and I met this man, very nice looking man. And I let him move in with me. Yeah. Within a month, he had started hitting on me. Oh. And he kept hitting on me. He kept blacking my eyes and stuff. And finally, one day, he decides he's just going to kill me. So he tried to beat me to death. He literally just sit on me and just start beating me all in my face. He said, I'm going to kill you today. I'm thinking to myself, oh Lord, I'm just starting to pray. Y'all know prayer is so important when you're in bad situations. Yeah. So I prayed. I'm like, God, please help me. That's right. And some told me to jump out the window. When I jumped out the window, he jumped out behind me and hit me in my mouth and knocked my 2 front teeth in. Oh. So for the next week after that, it's like I had to stay in the bed for like a complete week.
Where was the babies?
They was, you know what? I had my sister was with me. And they must have been upstairs because, everything happened so fast. I was sitting there at my table sewing, and he climbed in through the window. Oh, my. He was walking around, and I asked my mother. My mother was standing with me. I said, don't leave because he acting kind of strange. Yeah. But she left anyway, so I had my sister go and get my friend, but she was busy feeding her baby, so she didn't come. Oh. So my baby brother told me later that they was hiding in the closet. Huh? Because They must have been upstairs.
Oh, the kids were afraid, hiding.
They was hiding.
Yeah.
And because I know they could hear me screaming and stuff,
Yeah.
because I was screaming a lot.
Wow.
It was very,
Yeah.
very bad. So after that, my aunt, she sit by my bed for like a week. She rubbed aloe vera on my face.
Oh, yeah.
And my friend, she just started crying when she saw me because my whole face was like this bigger.
Oh.
You couldn't even tell who I was, really.
Well, I thank the Lord that you are here
I
today
do too.
and that you have, taken some steps and to move forward into your adulthood and still being that mom and, in the community and moving forward, and seeking wholeness. We talk about the healthiness all the time. We have those conversations, and we know self-care is so important. And
it is.
These relationships that we can encounter is so important. And if you're going to leave a situation, somebody said, well, why didn't she leave? You have to have a safety plan, let me tell you. So that could mean getting some documents over to your friend's house, that social security card for the kids, the birth certificate, the bank accounts, getting all that over to a safe place so you can have those items. But how are you going to do that? You just can't all of a sudden just take everything out that drawer that he knows that's in there, right? So you got to be wise. You have to be wise. You have to think this thing out of a safety plan. So what that means is like take a moment and think about how are you going to do this. And right now, I just want to take a few minutes and take a moment for peace for those that have been lost by violence. Your loved ones. Let's just say something, whatever your thing is. I say something for peace for our loved ones that have been lost to violence and affected by violence. Just take a moment. So, for those that have been affected by domestic violence or lost a loved one due to domestic violence, so always take a moment and think about it, because it is a trauma, it is a pandemic and an epidemic, especially right now. So that safe departure plan, how do you do that? So to be safe, to be wise, because you could die. So if your friend is telling you, why don't you just leave? Why don't you just walk out the door? But she doesn't know that he has 3 guns and it said to you, or I'm going to kill your friend too. She doesn't know that. She doesn't even know she's in harm's way, because the first place he'll probably come looking is her house, right? So you have to be a thinker. You have to be wise. So I wanted to share that with you today. So what does it mean? What does it look like for he or she to be a transition to a safe environment? So like I said, get the clothes, pack them little by little, take the baby's favorite blanket, make sure you have that, so you make sure you tell a true friend, listen to what I said, a true friend, what's going on. If there's something going on in the house where you have a neighbor, or that you could put a certain porch light on, that there's trouble in the house, before you transition that leave, because your whole thing is to stay safe. So,
and speak a little bit more on that, Traci.
There's a good time to escape, but you must create that good time of escape, if that makes sense. I hope it does. So, you might have to leave stuff. You might have to leave with the clothes on your back. You just have to be creative on being safe, because it's a critical time of being safe. So I just want to share that. So get your bank info, get things you need, for a safe transition. So don't listen to the social worker that might tell you, girl, just pack up and leave. Leave, yes, but in a safe way, okay? Because it is serious, and y'all know it is. We see it hear it on the news all the time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, as far as after this happened to me, I had gotten so sick in myself, because I had no self-esteem.
Now, when you say sick, tell me a little bit about that sickness.
I would say sick is that living with someone that's constantly hitting on you and saying terrible things to you, and it's like it had became natural. But then I grew up like that.
Yeah.
That's what happened in my household where I came. So it all became natural.
Yeah.
So after this happened to me, like a week later, I have like these two black eyes like a football player.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they started healing, he came back 2 weeks later.
I was going to ask you.
And he started hitting on me again.
So let me ask you, before he came back, was there a honeymoon stay? How did he get back in? How was he able to talk, that charm? What was his thing?
Probably because he was real fine. He was real handsome.
So evidently he had a gift of gab too.
Yeah, and plus I had no self-esteem.
Yeah.
So I didn't value myself. And, I'd already been, to me, emotionally abused from growing up in a household where I wasn't really valued like I thought I should have been valued. I was constantly said not so nice things.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of my sisters and brothers, they wasn't very nice either. My oldest sister, she wasn't very nice to me. So it was like it was ingrained in me.
Yeah.
So my friend, I had a friend who called me, and she came to see me, and she said, "Vida, I got to get you out of here because if I don't get you out, he really is going to kill you."
Wow.
So she had me meet her down at Burger King, and she took me to my first domestic violence shelter.
Oh.
So I ended up in and out of domestic violence shelters for quite a long time. That was just the first time that happened. After that, I didn't get any help. That's why I talk about codependence no more, because if you know more, you can do better because you can get some help. And I really like it that we're doing this now because people need to realize they can get some help.
Right.
So I got with another abuser after that. So after I got with him about a month later, he started jumping on me. That was my first husband.
Wow.
And the thing about him was he was suicidal. So his thing was, if you don't do what I want you to do, I'm just going to kill myself.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. So I just stayed with him. I even had a domestic violence shelter that was going to relocate me. And because he was fighting a drug war and everything, I took him with me.
You took him with you?
I took my abuser with me to be relocated to another domestic violence shelter because I didn't want nothing to happen to him.
Yeah.
That's what codependency is.
That's that codependency, yeah.
It's feeling like you have to take care of somebody.
That's like codependency on steroids.
Yeah. But I knew if I had left him, that he wasn't going to survive in the streets. So he really kind of depended on me.
Yeah, and he knew that too. He knew your heart was on your sleeve.
He knew it. But I took him because I was having a baby and I didn't want nothing to happen to my baby daddy.
Yeah.
And so eventually I even married him, but before he passed away in 1990, I had went through 6 treatment centers with him.
Wow.
6.
That's codependency.
We were, yeah, it is. And they used to try to tell me to go to Al-Anon. And I was like, so headstrong because this was a lifestyle for me.
Yeah.
Domestic violence was just a lifestyle. It was just something I was doing every day, all the time. I can handle it. It's nothing.
Yeah.
But I told him, ain't nothing wrong with me. It's something wrong with him. But it was something wrong with me. I didn't have any self-esteem, and I didn't realize I didn't have any self-esteem. So after he passed away, I ended up with another abuser.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get any help.
Yeah.
I didn't know better. I was stuck in this codependency thing.
Yeah.
So then I ended up with another person. Now, both of them was on crack cocaine.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anybody remember back in the day when people was on crack cocaine real bad, where they were stealing everything in the house.
Oh.
So they was stealing every single thing.
Yeah.
The TVs, the VCRs, the clothes, anything that was of value, a picture off the wall. So I ended up with another person after that for another 10 years. Fighting, arguing. And what really is bad about it is the children are the victims.
Yeah, for real.
Because they look at this and they look at it over and over just like I did.
Yeah.
And then they start doing the same thing.
The cycle.
And that's one of the reasons why I want to do this today, because I want people to know they can stop that cycle.
Yeah. It's important.
You don't have to keep on letting it be each generation to each generation.
No more.
And one of the things I have done with my own children, I had to apologize to them.
Oh, amen.
And a lot of times parents don't want to apologize to their children.
That's a big thing. And it's just not for you. It's for the children. It's a whole healing.
Yeah.
And didn't you feel good when you were able to do that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
But they still need to heal, though.
Yeah.
They even still need to heal now, because I think sometimes they see me as that weak person who was going through all of this stuff and letting people abuse them for years and years. So now that's why I really work as hard as I do now,
Right.
because I don't want them to see me as that person.
Right.
I'm not that person anymore.
I
I'm a
get
new
it.
person.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they get it too.
I think they do in
Yeah.
some ways.
Yeah.
In some ways.
Mhm.
But one of the things that really was a breakthrough for me was getting with a trauma coach. That's Gwendolyn Knowlton.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking
Yes.
with her. What's
Yes.
her name? Gwendolyn
Knowton.
Yeah, I'm looking
My
forward.
emotional and trauma coach.
Yeah.
I was able to sit down with her, and she used essential oils and used some different techniques and stuff, and she was able to take those essential oils and put them on different parts of my body and help me to diffuse a lot of the trauma that I had went through.
Now she's part of the summit, right?
Yeah, she is.
Yes,
She's a woman
yes.
entrepreneur. And she is profound, and people really need to, people who have been through trauma need to have a trauma coach.
Yes.
Because one of the biggest things I learned is to value myself and love myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because after all these, when I counted it up, I've been through 14 treatment centers with 4 different men.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a book.
Yeah, it is.
That's resilience.
It is.
Because some people are not willing to go to the treatment center.
Yeah.
They're not willing to get treatment and heal and move forward.
They're not.
Oh, speaking of moving forward, check out www.womenmoveforward.com. We have a survey, and yes, it's a lot of questions, but yes, it is important. Please fill out the survey, www.womenmoveforward, or you can go to www.hereourtears574.com, and also it's there. There's a link there. Fill out the survey. You can go on Facebook, Women Move Forward on Facebook, and there the survey is. Please fill out that survey. I wanted to say something. When you find yourself making a lot of sacrifices for your partner's happiness, their happiness, that's a red flag. But and you're not getting much in return, that's a red flag. Okay, so if the kind of one-sided pattern sounds like that's what's going on, and you have to feel trapped about this situation, that's a red flag. There are a lot of ways to change a codependency relationship and get your life back on an even keel. So, a codependency relationship, getting back on track, understand the meaning of codependency relationships. So, does it have to be an intimate partner? No, it doesn't. So codependency can come in different forms. The experts say it's a pattern of behavior in which you find yourself dependent on approval from someone else for your self-worth and identity. So then we talked about codependency relationships, unhealthy, it's just unhealthy for you. So when one person doesn't have self-sufficiency, the division of that is not good. One or both parties depend on their loved ones for fulfillment. Anyone can become a codependent. It can happen to any of us. I'm a Cancer, so by heart, I'm just a giver, a lover, and then I'm an introvert, and I dealt with low self-esteem and all that as well. So some researchers suggest that people who have partners who emotionally abuse and neglect them in their teens are more likely to enter codependency relationship. We talked about that cycle.
That's true.
So, just ask yourself, watch out for these signs that you might be in a codependency relationship. Okay? So you say, are you unable to find satisfaction in your life?
Think past yourself. I talked about those 14 treatment centers, and sometimes I do feel a little guilty about it. It is a little shameful for me that I had to let them go through all of that. But I know that God put me here to do something and to help people. And I grew up in a family of helpers.
That's right.
All the women I knew, they just helped their mates. So I figured I should do it too.
It's what you were taught.
It's what I was taught. So that's all that I knew. But the children are the victims. Think about your children. If you love your children, get them out of that situation. Show them that it could be something different. That they don't have to do the same thing that you did or that your parents did or even our ancestors did. And we can change that. We had the empowerment to do that. That we can go get help. If we need help, we can call the domestic violence hotline. We can get in contact with Traci. Y'all can get in contact with me. Y'all can get in contact with Cindy. Now, we got all kind of things that y'all can do, positive things y'all can do to combat dealing with domestic violence. You don't just have to sit there and take it. You don't have to have anyone to devalue you, call you out of your name, tell you that you're nothing, that you're never going to be nothing. Because if you believe in yourself and if you have vision and you write that vision down, I want y'all to just do this today. Get your notebook, write on there, write the day's date down, and put my plan for success in my future. And write down 10 things that y'all want to accomplish. And just brainstorm. Write it down. And when you get done with that list, take action.
Write it down.
Write it down. See that notebook?
Right.
That's what helped me. I'm just talking about some things that have helped me, because if I can talk about some things that have helped me with the trauma, because if I told y'all so, y'all only heard one of the stories.
Mm-hmm.
I got about 100 or 200 stories of trauma, things that have happened, but I was able to overcome those. That's why I say if you know more, you can do better.
Yes.
So that's the purpose of having Here Are Tears,
yes,
and hearing stories of domestic violence to let you know that you can do better, you can have better, your children can have better, your future generations can have better. Because what we teach our children today, they're going to keep that for the rest of their lives.
Yes.
So it's our responsibility to change things.
Yep.
Change domestic violence. Look it up. Traci did a lot of research as far as what domestic violence is. Sometimes people stay in it because they don't even understand it.
Yes.
If
they
you
don't
want
know they're
things,
in it.
they don't even know they're in it.
But
I didn't know I was really in
there's
it.
so many forms of it.
It is. It is.
So take the time, because at HOT Here Are Tears, we believe we can eradicate domestic violence with education, intervention, and preventive skills. So how do we do that? So we have to study this thing. We have to investigate different forms of domestic violence so we can address those and we can be a healthy, whole community. So we need each other to do that. We're going to have, with Women Move Forward, ambassadors, HOT Here Our Tear ambassadors throughout the community. So when we talk about entrepreneurship and we talk about how are we going to, this domestic violence thing, it all comes together. It's a full circle. So we're looking forward to doing that with Cindy Cohen, See to Your Health, and a lot of women that are from the summit, and a lot of new entrepreneurs coming up. We'll be talking about that with WW Women Move Forward. So please join us about the HOT Here Are Tears ambassadors and the See to Your Health incentive. We'll be doing that. And yes, entrepreneurs do matter. Are you ready? So Vida and Cindy and I, we're all in this together. We have other entrepreneurs we're all in this together. We're going to figure this thing out. And HOT Here Are Tears, no abuse, bullying, or violence. So we need you to tell your story. So please contact me, 574-233-0579, and let me know when you would like to tell your stories, because we need to hear your story. HOT Here Our Tears, hear our stories. We thank you for having Ms. Vida today. Is there anything else you want to say, Ms. Vida?
Well, I just want to say women entrepreneurs matter. We matter because we make it happen every single day. I am ready. We are ready. That's when I had a turning point, when I got with the women entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. And that's when I really started feeling like I had met my real family, because we think the same, we moving forward the same. I formed Women Entrepreneurs Matter for domestic violence, for people that's in homelessness, because this is a lot of things I had to deal with myself, and that's what helped me as far as getting resources to get myself better. Yeah. So I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you.
Hopefully I said something that will help someone.
That's right.
And I'm always available, if they need me. I'm all on Facebook doing my thing.
Yeah.
And reach out for help.
She's not camera shy.
You're not alone. No, I'm not.
Yeah,
you're not alone.
So, resilience. Like she said, you build your circles. I have coach. Cindy is my coach. Vida is my coach. I have mega coaches, because I know for me to be whole, I need a team. Amen. So I've been through a lot of stuff, and I'm here today to say that you can live your dream, even though you've had to go through some mountains and over some mountains and around some mountains. You still can, live your dream and pursue your entrepreneurship. You can become whole. And healing is, for me, it's a a lifelong schooling for
Yes,
me.
it is.
So I'm continuously building my circles. I must do that to stay focused and keep my mind and my heart on helping folks in the community with domestic violence. We have a home that was donated. The home needs a lot of work. If you would like to make a donation at www.hereourtears574.com, you can go to the website. You can see a lot more about the home. We appreciate you. This is our community, and this is what we do at HOT. Hear our tears, hear our stories. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Sign out.